Hello, my name is Daniel Barutha, and today I am going to be presenting on soil liquefaction and geostructural engineering. In geostructural engineering, soil liquefaction remains a challenging task. So with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so soil liquefaction, also known as earthquake liquefaction, is the ground failure or loss of strength which causes otherwise solid soil to temporarily behave as a viscous liquid. Devastating effects can occur during earthquakes, not only from the shaking of the earthquake itself, but also from soil liquefaction, which takes place as a byproduct of the earthquake when the conditions are right. It occurs in saturated soils, which are affected by seismic S waves. So what's going on here? Well, as we see in this image, the pore spaces pre-earthquake are filled with water. They are saturated. After strong earthquake-induced shaking, we see that the pore sizes increase and the structure is lost as the soil begins to behave as a liquid. We often see problems associated with soil liquefaction near coastal regions because of the relatively saturated soil. We especially see problems in poorly drained fine-grained soils such as sandy, silty, and gravelly soils. As we can see in this image on the left, bedrock is acting as a boundary, keeping the water table high to the left of it in this depiction. During an earthquake, we can see how water is forced upwards, in return turning the soil below the overlying structures into a liquid type state, resulting in the failure of the structure itself. There are a few different types of remediation methods used to combat soil liquefaction. One is to simply remove and replace the liquefiable soil with non-liquefiable soil, although this method can be costly. Another is to pour giant and deep foundations, but again, this method can also be quite pricey. Specialized stone columns, however, are less expensive and have shown to be very combative against soil liquefaction. It takes 5 steps to install these stone columns. Step 1 is the preparation. This is where a vibrocap positions itself over the required location of the compaction point and stabilizes itself using hydraulic supports. A wheel loader fills the skip with aggregate. The next step is charging. The skip is lifted and empties its contents into the air chamber. Once the airlock is closed, the material flow towards the vibrator tip is assisted by pressurized air. Next is penetration. The vibrator displaces the soil and is lowered to the designed depth, aided by the compressed air and by the vibrocap's pull down. Our fourth step is compaction. After reaching the maximum depth, the vibrator is pulled up slightly, causing the aggregate to fill the cavity created. During repenetration, the aggregate is compacted and pressed into the surrounding soil. Finally, the stone column is built up in alternating steps up to the design level. During the final leveling, the surface requires to be recompacted, or binding layer is required as an alternative. So in conclusion, what can we determine about soil liquefaction? Well, it remains a geostructural engineering challenge, and we are still learning new things about it, such as what different types of soils are prone to liquefaction. And all in all, liquefaction can be very damaging. So with that being said, are there any questions?